don't use default settings.
Okay.
Use the bumped up one. You see how fast it is loading?
Okay.
That will give him the full glory of course. Because you can like see it, no? This is a 2K monitor. In the 4K, of course, there will be more pixels
So
to that.
4K 144 hertz.
4K 144 hertz तो नहीं आता. That is way too expensive. It's
So
not
how-
possible to gain 1 hertz is 1 frames.
Okay.
It's a monitor should frame those things at that high resolution. The more number of pixels is there, the more high resolution, the lesser the frame rate it is.
So how many hertz will I get for 120?
See, like I'll say like if you are going for this thing, it's up to you. I think like 2K and 165 hertz. 44 hertz then you require a 140, but the resolution is 2. So it's a very nice panel. To be honest, it's an above average panel. Got my point? Now you try. But this is not a very graphic intensive game by any means.
Dante. I could take you with no
I just want
V. I trust you. Helping each other out? What's the world coming? took off.
Do you not understand? We cannot hope to do this without you.
That's all right, superstar. Go on with your bad stuff. Go ahead. We got this.
It's a live stream.
Hold on, Dante.
No one, I haven't played.
Looks like this won't be a total waste of time after all. Hey, jackass! Did your mother ever teach you it's not nice to steal? Sorry, Dante. I'm bagging this bitch.
You can just close your stream.
Okay. I can directly open.
CSGO में the settings will be different.
Yeah.
These people play on very low settings.
Yeah, low settings.
That is. You can put this here.
Yeah. Even I do on low settings.
Even he's playing on this. Yeah, I mean,
Nice shot.
your streaming is also stuck kind of.
Yeah. Because this thing needs to be.
Change, huh? Okay.
No, it should. using game capture.
On this game, you won't have the best of the experience because there is a. But again, I still think like, you might be getting.
It's actually running much better than my PC lags actually.
Hello.
Streaming will
Hello.
by that I can tell. Division is there. If you want, you play Division. I can get you Division.
Okay. I mean, this also takes a really high graphics and
Which
Metro.
one? Metro car. He got this Exodus also.
Okay.
But
So
I don't have his that other Steam ID. I asked him whatever the multiplayer games you have, you just give it to
I think
me.
Metro Exodus is in Epic Games.
Exodus is good.
Epic Games.
Resident Evil is there, the new wala. This will work good, Ray, don't worry. These are all single player shit.
Yeah.
Try the multiplayer which can help you in getting the proper performance judgment while building it. Keep that in mind and
For my PC right now, even this screen lags. Resident Evil.
Okay. Dude, the streaming has nothing to do with the processor power. The background is Streamlabs. I'll show you. Just alt tab mark. You see how much it is using behind the CPU. Now you see these things, Streamlabs and these things. They're using quite a lot of resources. This is not possible on Intel Core processors. This is only possible on their workstation processors. I mean, the basic i7 जो कहते हैं ना वो 30,000 35,000 का शूट किया चाहिए this stuff. You see the loading?
Yeah.
It was super fast. It is because all his games are loaded in that NVMe SSD.
Hello? Anybody there?
Do you see an output lag by any means?
No, there's no.
Something's not right.
Just that it's getting a little pixelated.
Selected.
I mean, streaming itself is like that.
Acha. It has to do with your streaming cassette.
I mean, I put the maximum. 8000 is really high, right? 8000 bit rate.
I don't know about that. Like I said, I basically don't know. I mean, the audio ka this thing is not there. Video ka you have like quite lowered it for sure.
Made it 8000 bit.
Yeah. But that's a audio ka na?
Then it's video.
You alright? Don't move. I'll be back for you.
Stop moving.
Officer, you need help?
Stay back, sir. I got this.
Freeze! I'll shoot!
Go for 20.
Officer, you need help?
Stay back, sir. I got this.
It's because of.
Check other game.
Freeze! I'll shoot!
This is like the latest thing.
Is also there.
Like, I think.
Arkham Knight देख लो. Because the thing is, this GP is like what? 3 years old, 2.5 years old. उसका तो हो सकता है. And Resident Evil is a game which gets better on multiple number of cores.
Yeah.
So I don't think it has to do with the GPU only. But again, you check.
Is core like one core does one task? Like, is it
Number
how
of
core?
cores will be there. No,
Yeah.
it will be easier for the application to scale.
Okay.
More the number of if there is one core and you got like if you got 4 cores for example and you are running like 10 setup, 10 shit,
10 tasks.
10 tasks. So and if you have got 12 cores doing that same stuff, whom do you think it will be better?
Well,
Got my point?
yeah.
But again, for that, it's not always about the code. You should have a good,
Performance.
not like that, a good architect, a new gen architect. I mean, old generation 4
Architects,
core
yeah.
were very old. But if you, a new generation 2 core is far better than an old generation. That also like keeps change. I'll play this one and I will see if we see the lag or not.
Just a second, I'll set the game.
Achha, you need to set the game always.
Because when you use game capture, that's what you need to do.
It will do one thing. This GPU is not the right
Okay.
for sure to test such heavy games. Even this is also quite a daunting game.
I mean, see,
And
the
we are
thing
using
is,
is on the
the CPU should be good to play the games, but
but-
not play and stream.
Yeah.
Even my thing is the same problem. I'm able to play Apex Legends, PUBG, but my stream lags. So,
This thing is for sure. So it has to do with the GPU only.
yeah.
But like in games of CPU, I don't think you are having any issue.
Yeah, CPU.
And so just go into the Streamlabs then. Let me see what is the recommended.
Okay.
Just check the requirements of the Streamlabs. Streamlab, right?
Hmm.
See, all of them are recommending you 6 core 12 threads, 8 core 12 threads. Anyways, this is superior than that one, whatever the stuff that is you're getting at. You cannot go wrong in that one.
I mean, see, what I checked was if I check for best CPU for streaming, it even Google shows i9 and
But these are like paid man. These are not like anyone can get. That is what PCgamer.com.
okay.
And it is using this one. And it is also, if you see 4 or 5th,
Huh.
what exactly are 4 or 5th are?
Yeah.
The previous generation king is a great choice. Now you open it. Wait.
This is one. Okay. This is two.
Give me a second.
This one. Yeah.
See, it is showing this one, but this CPU is like any day faster than this one.
Okay.
So it cannot be right for sure because this is having what? These are both of them are having the same Zen architect,
Okay.
and that is having
This
a
is
Zen
a
core.
better.
This
CPU.
is better.
Okay.
This is a normal 6 core. This is a 12 to 13,000 rupees of CPU.
How many cores is it?
It's 6 core. 6
Okay.
core. The 12. This is having 12 cores, 12 threads. By no way it is this one.
Why aren't they showing this CPU?
Yeah, give me a second.
Threadripper.
Thread.
I think Threadripper was in number 6 here. Just a second. This is Ryzen 2000.
2700.
This is
These
8
are all
core.
budget CPUs.
Okay.
Give me a second. Now this one might be this thing.
Extreme series isn't for gaming, right? It's for.
See, even in gaming it is as equivalent to this one.
Okay.
But if you're using this backlog stuff, you require more cores.
This is.
This thing.
Yeah.
This is a 299. This is having a what do you call it?
32 cores.
Yeah.
What was above this?
You read this one, then you will get to know too.
Okay.
You read the
Okay.
down one order. The only thing which I see is the base clock is 3 gigs. Now there is this thing, the benchmark. Are they even putting that processor here? Because whatever the that CPU will be there, it's just half of it exactly.
Okay.
Give me a second. यहाँ पे एक Ryzen master होता ना. हाँ. Is there any game mode here? Ah, here are na game mode. Just write 1920X for Streamlabs for streaming. No, this will give you a very nice result. Simple. 120 FPS, anything above 100 FPS is like super duper ultra, right? So I don't think, yeah, I don't think you will have any issue with this CPU. It has to do with the GPU being very accurate. And you are doing it. You start off with 27, around
There are a number of important
Linux, huh? Encryption. Just go backward. Yeah, that's what it is. Go ahead. Just copy that. Encryption is like, that's what it is. Go backward. That will be at 4K. Even if you go at 2K also, you will be the same. But if you change to 1080p, then definitely that's will be doing good for you. Then the transcoding part and this encryption part will be the one where you will require a nice CPU. But where it comes to this thing, what do you call it? Don't read the comments.
Okay.
You will get more confused. Trust me. Okay. 2920 is nothing,
Okay.
dude. It's the same chip only. Oh. 2920 is nothing,
Okay.
but a 12 nanometer chip.
Is it not here in India, right?
No, it's
okay,
there.
this one.
Okay, this is the one. No? It costs nearly the similar setup. This is not the cost, man. This is not the cost. You'll get it for 40K or something like that.
Okay.
Chill. Keep that in mind. Amazon the cost are not the cost for us to like deal it. They'll put up any fuck up stuff and they'll sell it off.
And what about this one? Like Amazon is showing
Which one, man?
it's 53 showing, right?
It will be around like 48, 49. They will be must be having an exclusive, what do you call it, partnership with this.
Okay.
Amazon they're selling.
No, like if you're gonna get this, how much?
It will be around 50K.
50K.
be cheaper, the other will be super duper high. See, most of them will be like on the mark of 54.
Can we like list everything down?
Not the list. First of all, like I want to have this fair conversation. Which are you towards more inclined? Intel or this setup? Because the point of me getting you here is to get your this thing. I don't know. Say if you're not happy with it, there is no point in getting you this thing. That is something I told you. Even if you are suffering and you want your own stuff, so you will never blame on anyone.
See, like the exclusives for and
That happens in your stream lab, in very honest. Yeah, it happens in that is where the CPU plays a major role. Like the background stuff. But onto the frames के point of view में, yes, 9900 is only good at 1080p, but not at 2K or
because see, I'm only gonna game it 1080p because I'm gonna stream.
Acha, so there is no point. So you will. So what's the point of taking a 4K screen?
No, see 4K, I was thinking maybe sometimes I might game some story games or something. Because mostly it is CS:GO or some FPS games like PUBG or if it's
So no, like I just want to tell you one thing. 4K paying won't be getting 144. Okay, it's not possible. So I'll tell you one thing. Go and
so I actually thought about all this. I thought 240 hertz I think because even if there's 5% advantage for me,
240 hertz you can do.
that will give me a
I
lot
guess
of
144 hertz itself.
144 already made a pass here. So I was thinking. I checked the Zowie monitors.
अच्छा नहीं Zowie is Benki right?
Yeah. So 144 hertz. Zowie is like. I have the BenQ, the older 144. This is 23 something like.
Okay,
right?
okay.
This one 144. This one 25 it is. And 240 is like something like 30 I think. It's 42. So since I already have a 144, I really need 240 because it will up my performance by 10%. Because it's all about performing in the game. It's a live stream.
अच्छा.
I mean, I can do entertaining and stuff and all that, but
Fine, I got the point. Yeah. So mostly your resolution will be this 1080p only, because Dinesh told me that you will be going for 4K. See, my point here, what I want to tell you is, you cannot get a 240 hertz panel with 4K.
that will be very expensive.
It's not available on the It's not available in the real world.
Even
How much
4,
Sola you
even
have?
4K 144 is like more than 1 lakh.
1.5 lakhs. It's only the Acer Predator is happening. So that's what I was getting very confused with your implementation. So either see whatever the stuff you want, you can't achieve this 244 hertz on 2K or 4K. So either you come down to 144 hertz or 240 hertz like you said and leave 4K, or else you go with the 4K and you won't be getting this one. So you be very clear with this. What do you want to do? Because I thought you were going for 4K wala, because this is what the Dinesh told me. I mean, he wants going for a 4K
See
wala.
what I basically want to do is see if I take 2080 Ti and all these things.
2080 Ti you don't require at this thing. Then so I suggest 2070 max. Even for your streaming purposes. But you won't go wrong.
Because I don't know na.
I was thinking only from your 2K point of view and your 4K point of view.
See right now my stream quality is like really bad. I can show you.
Okay. But you still got a good decent number of subscribers.
Huh. I made these videos actually, which went viral. Like this guy got.
I know this guy was cheating, yeah.
So this is the video I made, which got like it's close to 5 million. So I roasted him basically. So this guy again and stuff. I made then other YouTubers came to me. They started talking to me. So I made videos.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You know, I think you know T-Bone.
I've come to talk with you again.
Yeah!
out to globally league. Then
on this
face it, I just started 2 months ago.
right now.
A month ago. I don't have a team or anything. I just used to play with European friends with high ping and it's weird actually. Face it, it's like level 5 right now. But I can get to level 7 on my own. But if I have a team, I can get to level 10. It's not simple as it. So, I mean, these are the best CSGO YouTubers. And I played against them. Oh yeah, this one. You know Rakazon? Ayush Rawat, thank you so much for
Everyone.
Oh, T-Bone! अरे T-Bone red! अरे T-Bone red हो गया!
अरे 60 हिट
भाई एमजी है वो
So this was a bulky fight. He's also like global. So I really hard.
कर दे डिफेंस कर दे पीछे बॉलर ला easy man clip it
Tuksan got taste. अरे noob T-Bone. Quality without a face cam.
See, the more number of Sengoku they are, okay, you will require a good CPU and a okay. So I still suggest. I just have this feel. I get the point whatever you are doing. I still feel that Republic because I'm having this feel from inside.
Okay.
I don't see because this guy got the ultimate result, and this is why this guy is also into the stream. He's not as he's more like casual and more into the video, but he does stream. But he doesn't do the.
So what I also do this editing videos. See, like I edited Forsaken. I was new to YouTube and all that. I started it more than a year ago, but still, after this thing happened, I was confused what to do because these things went viral. Sparkle series, and all the big YouTubers they took clips from my videos because they hit like 5 million, 1 million, because they don't have idea about Indian CSGO. I roasted him in such a way that because I know in depth about Indian CSGO. What they took clips from me and they didn't even give me a shout out. They never mentioned my name.
Okay.
So then I was confused. I started Red Dead Redemption on PS4, which was wrong actually. If my content went good in CSGO, I should go with that. Because if a channel is good on baseball, we cannot play cricket there.
Yeah.
So I kind of lost so many viewers that way. Then again I started doing this, how Navi plays and stuff. I did a lot actually. But it's only going up to like 4,000 views or something.
Okay. We got a whole lot of new money though. Hey! Raindrop, drop top, smoke.
People say that I'm really good at it. I can be the best in the world, but
What are you gonna have? Still, I got your point.
yeah, so editing is like I don't need multiple cores or something. If I do it, that will be my only task if I do editing. So, and the other thing is playing a game and streaming. So this will be like only 2 tasks. Maybe there will be background music something. So for that reason, I'm
And
just
on
looking for
what
the best.
resolution? 1080.
When
Has
we-
to be 1080p, right?
Has to be 1080.
See, man. Now this thing.
Because see, you cannot stream at 4K in India.
I don't know, 4K maybe करते हैं वो तो you are always this. Now this is the catch, which I be very careful while I'm doing this. This is the how.
Because this is like crucial part of my thing here.
Correct. I don't want
These things went viral.
Yeah, and I don't
I
want
can
it to
take
go
this to a higher level.
to a higher level.
because I need to start using a
Do you think this performance is good for you? The one which you got it right now?
It's really bad because I'll show you my live stream. Like I streamed this yesterday, or I can show you this one. It's like I'm just playing the game. They're PUBG Mobile right now. Yeah. Oh, you mean it's the most played game on mobile phone. It's big, guys.
टाइम नहीं है बस बॉम्बर को मार
अरे वो कैंसर है
Because of course you will be playing more games, more advanced games. Okay? वहाँ पे तो you will require this stuff.
Right now, I'm only playing CS:GO because that's the only thing running right now.
See,
So, I
अगर
will
CS:GO तू जा रहा है, then Apex भी जा रहा है.
So that's
These
what I
are all
want to
single
start
threaded.
playing Apex and
These are all single threaded games. You will be getting some extra FPS than this one for sure. That is onto the gameplay. But I don't know how to translate the backend process. Because a single core is only good only if you don't put any code. Okay, you can play very good on a single core, but as soon as there are will be background processes will be there, the dip will be higher. Here the dip won't be that higher because I told you extra number of codes and things will be there. You can do support. So this is the question which I am still not sure. Even if you ask me, then genuinely guy.
because Streamlabs is kind of weird. It's the latest right now. I don't know how it's working because the previous apps which they used to stream, they never used to lag so much. But let me check. This should be.
Ironically, the video that is possibly the and then the actual video quality results. So if you want to jump to that, you don't want to hear me kind of blabbing on about how we 100k and a 2700 is generally with a 1080p test and not necessarily CSGO. Technically speaking, the 2700X wins here with 38% performance loss rather than 43%, but the 9900K is overall a much faster chip, both in the normal and the streaming results. The minimums also show this, and the maximums, well, I had a bit of an erroneous result where the Ryzen chip was actually faster in its maximums, or higher in its maximums, than the I had a bit of an erroneous result where the Ryzen chip was actually minimal performance loss, the maximums for both chips. When it comes to PUBG, again, the 9900K really kind of reigns supreme here with some impressive results both on averages and especially on minimums as well, where we're seeing next to no performance loss on both chips, although slightly higher on the 9900K. So again, a actually very nice and very playable experience on both. And again, the maximums, technically speaking, the Ryzen does lose the most here, although with that said, it's not a very noticeable difference.
Normal में how much they will be, and while streaming, like I said, there will be so many of background processes.
One game this is performing better, the other game I9 is.
When it comes to Fortnite, we're actually looking at a fairly close race, although the percentage loss here is actually pretty significant, 39% versus 24%, where the 9900K really kind of comes out on top. The minimums here, we saw actually an increase again on the
Is this the like in this price range?
This is the best alternate. I mean, 50k mein you will be getting this one, and 40k mein you will be getting this one. What this one only, no?
This is the only.
Already saw it. This is already seen. In video editing, no. Streaming ka is what I want. But that too, the streaming ka only your games I want. I don't want the other games.
Or we can just check i900K and 1920 separate.
Come again?
We can just check this one separate and then 1920K and 920X.
No, I have a feel that now that see there is a performance dip is going on in both of them. and the performance dips by 50% at times when it is happening. So now even I am thinking, because the games which you are streaming, both of them are single threaded. CSGO is single threaded, Apex भी single threaded है, PUBG भी single threaded है. All three are single threaded. They are not multi-core wala. But I'm saying the performance of the hit is there. That not much not. ठीक है.
See, because what matters for me is I give a headshot.
Yeah, that's what. I don't want you to, and I still feel that you're gonna concentrate more on the.
See, because
already established stuff, like iske wala. So you do one thing. You don't go for this thing. Like you don't go for this setup. Okay. Not required.
Like see, I also started making these kind of videos. Like there was a guy who was talking about.
You get more views on your gameplay streams rather than all of the stuff.
Yeah, see, even if I'm uploading a video, since I'm on Navi or something, right now it's like balance.
I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. If you're gonna do other videos and other stuff, then of course I'm gonna ask you to go for it. But if you're gonna do this Apex, PUBG and this thing, what do you call it? CSGO, especially these three games.
Then
I9 is better. I'm seeing it, though it is having performance is 190 and it is going up to 120. Here performance is actually 150 and it is going up to 110. But still the lower part of 120 is better than 110.
Hello, darkness, my old friends. I've come to talk with you again.
I got the point. We'll discuss on the other parts.
Okay.
Now I got your like huge, what do you call it? This thing. And see about that 9700K.
And I also figured out one more thing.
Yeah, just check 9700K.
9700K is very close to 9900.
And why you want to go for this i9?
But the price difference is not much, like 10,000.
15,000 ka.
Yeah, 10,000. So I was
can
thinking.
invest that much only in 2080 then.
Okay. What's the difference between 2080 and 2080?
No, I'll tell you few things.
Oh, okay. So I also figured out this thing. Right now I'm streaming with my GPU, not CPU. Because if I stream with my CPU, i7-4700, it's lagging. So for that reason I checked 9900K versus 2080 Ti.
Few calls. Yes, it's really good.
One of the biggest hardware, and then now average is just the average FPS recording, and then NVNC for the same thing. The next set of results is the FPS difference between either X.264 or NVNC to the stock. So that is obviously NVNC compared to the stock and X.264 compared to the stock, to give you an idea of how much performance you lose depending on which one you're using. And then the last section.
You all know that streaming kind of brings down the quality, right?
Yeah.
So I watch a lot of videos. So just
Fuck this thing. i3, i5, i7. This is a paid one, man. For sure.
2080 Ti minus. I think this guy tested.
The plastic is still on here. So, RTX pre-orders are apparently going gangbusters. Into overclocking these cards in a future video in the comments below. Speaking of future video.
You need to see this one. So,
But which game?
right now he's playing, I think Apex.
cards in a future video in the comments below. Speaking of future video, surprisingly, NV below. Speaking of future video, surprisingly, NVENC and VNC got an update. So text is now more readable and there's less blocking than the 1080 Ti. To be perfectly honest, to us, it looks very similar to, if not better, than X264 on the fast preset. So it looks like game streamers or anyone else who relies on high quality stream capture no longer needs to choose between quality and speed. And there's other cool features baked on board as well, like the new VR Link connector that handles both power and high-res RTX. Well, Blade and an RTX, but we're gonna get in the anyway. And around noon on Friday, the 14th of September. This video goes up early in the morning on the 19th. That is at best 2.7. Speaking of future video, surprisingly, NVENC and VNC got an update. So text is now more readable and there's less blocking than the 1080 Ti. To be perfectly honest, to us, it looks very similar to, if not better, than X264 on the fast preset. So it looks like game streamers or anyone else who relies on high.
See, even in 4K, 2080 will only give 70 to 60 FPS. So in the future, I don't know how good it is at 4K.
At least you are getting 60 FPS. See, I'll tell you what, 60 to 70 are not easy to reach, man.
Yeah, in
anything
4K. Yeah.
In 4K, anything you get around 45 in 4K is something god.
What other things have, like, I also read comments and everything. What once it's stuck, but that was stuck on me.
This will give you a lot of shit. No, we'll use this one. Yeah, we'll use this one. Use it.
Like 2080 has heating issues, like while 2080.
No man. See, what you are coming to conclusion is whatever this technology they'll use it. For 2080 Ti, they'll use it for 2070, 2060 and 2080.
Okay.
And the only difference will be the Turing cores and the number of shaders that will be reduced. There won't be any in-depth technologies between the coding. That never happens.
Okay.
What we have shown is a 1080 Ti. That is a 3 years generation gap. अच्छा, ray tracing का है रे. Go back. twice. Outside we did it for what? 20 to 80. Here system structure for 1.5 lakhs. Zero margins. Zero margins. 51.
I don't think Asus will have a problem with it.
You can get like trust me, I'm not misleading.
That would be
33%.
Okay, so the theoretical benefits of 4K are pretty clear. Pardon the pun. All you have to do is consult the product page for any 4K monitor, and you'll be treated to the same stock imagery that has been used to sell higher resolution displays for the last handful of decades. Except for one small problem. A human being with 20/20 vision can discern about 1/60th of an arc second. So that's about 3,600 increments per degree of their field of view. That means that you would need to be 2.5 to 3.5 feet away from a typical monitor before the pixels become indistinguishable from each other. Apple brands this as Retina. Now with a 4K display, you could get as close as 1.7 feet for a 27-inch model. But how far do people actually sit from their monitors? Is any of this even a benefit? Why don't we find out? Privacy keeps your money safe by creating secure virtual cards and completing checkout forms for you, saving you time and money while masking your card details. Sign up and immediately get $5 at the link below.
Would you game at this distance?
I game like this.
It's like 17 inches?
See, it's about 22 to the laptop.
Would you lean back that far while you're gaming? For gaming, probably like this. Oh,
Oh, 21.
What the hell's going on? What is this? Ah!
Yeah.
Am I okay?
Well, we'll get back to you on that. Okay, so as of right now, it's looking like basically everyone in our office would experience a noticeable difference between 1080p and 1440p, and about half of the people in our office would experience a difference between 1440p and 4K. However, there is something that we're missing here, and that is anti-aliasing. This technology takes neighboring pixels and kind of blends them together, and it can make a display seem like it's higher resolution than it actually is. Now, physically, increasing the pixel count is naturally better, but good AA, especially in games, can take things like power lines from being a blocky, staircasey mess to a smooth arc. And one of the easiest ways to see the effects of AA is with Windows text. So here we have a 1080p monitor, and by default in Windows 10, there will be anti-aliasing on the text. Although if we turn it off, you can see that, that's bad. Let's go ahead and turn that back on. There we go. That's better, but it's not even close to our 4K display over here. You heard it here first, folks. Higher resolution displays are indisputably better for creating and consuming text content. But games aren't a bunch of small, static black lines sitting on a white background. They have motion, and your eyes are often moving around as well. So how much of a difference does that extra sharpness actually make? To test this, we grabbed 3 gaming monitors with the major 16:9 resolutions, and with each of them locked to 60 hertz with anti-aliasing turned on in our games, we want to see if our test subjects can tell the difference. Go ahead, test subjects. Now, we know that our 1080p monitor is only a 24-incher, and there's a reason for that that we'll get to later. It's still much lower pixel density than either of the others, so it's fine for the purposes of our test.
These are junk. That one's fair.
Yeah, this one just, this one doesn't look very good.
Yep, this one looks terrible. This one looks like it's a lower res than this one, but high anti-aliasing, which makes everything a bit blurrier. This one looks like native res with some anti-aliasing.
I do think that one still looks better to me, but switching back and forth to these, this one looks really good as well.
The difference between these two is harder. This one's higher res though.
So that was pretty much what we expected. But here's the thing. All 3 of these gaming monitors cost around $500. And that is where we finally get into the main point we're trying to make in this video. It would have been easy for us to demonstrate that 4K doesn't make sense if you don't have a lot of money. It's expensive. End of story. But we're saying that even if you could afford the gaming horsepower to run 4K 60 Hz and a 4K monitor, that's a Predator monitor, it's a gaming monitor, you would be better off buying something else. Because there is so much more to the gaming experience than the pixel count. So these 1440p and 1080p monitors cost so much because our 4K display is running at 60 Hz, 60 refreshes per second. Then these two run at 144 Hz and a stonking 240 Hz respectively. And I've been a long time believer that refresh rate makes a way bigger difference to the gaming experience than resolution. So we're gonna get Doom running on all three of these and see what people prefer to play on in a fast-paced shooter.
This feels good. You know, it's a game. It's looking good. Oh! I died? Got it, nailed it. Okay, hold on here, okay. This seems smoother. I like this better than that. Perfect. Got the glory kill, bro. I feel like that one feels better than this one.
Meh. I don't feel like this is significantly different from the other machine. Same. It's the same, they're all the same.
What?
Fascinating.
Dennis, what are you firing at?
There's nothing I can fire at. Okay, that's cool. I might not be the best person to ask. But to me, to be honest, I wouldn't care that much. I think this one it shows more detail. I don't know, they are the same minus.
Wait, is motion blur on? Can you tell me if the resolutions are the same between the two?
Can't tell you a goddamn thing.
The frame rate's not keeping up on this one.
Well, we could tell you the frame rate's about 180 FPS.
On here? Then what is going on?
You're running on a 60 Hz monitor.
Okay. If I were going to game on something, it would definitely be this. Just because it is a lot smoother. The far left one... Actually, this is really sweet. But the clarity is not that great. Overall image quality is worse on this one. But does it really matter when things are exploding and you're just aiming at blobs?
So basically, if you're gaming in an even remotely competitive way, higher refresh rate, at least to a point, is hands down the way to go. Those extra pixels are just not worth the response time reduction. And the problem is that you can't have both. Every display interface has a limit to how many pixels it can push per second, which is why up until very recently, every 4K monitor has been capped at 60 Hz, making for an inferior gaming experience. Outside of some edge cases, like the argument could be made for gamers who aren't frame rate snobs that that's a more pleasing experience, or for certain types of games that are more about the cinematics and visuals, whether it's Red Dead Redemption 2 or Grand Theft Auto 5, where you're not competing against anyone. You could make an argument there. For my part, I wouldn't.
I'll get a lot of likes also on your build when I'm gonna build it, but it's not the right way to do it. Because the smart people will say, hey dude, where is this missing? Where is this missing? Why it is there? You could have done this, done that.
Because I did videos like unboxings also. So I'm thinking, see, if I come up with some creative idea and unbox each part, like motherboard and GPU, CPU. So it's like, I mean, I did a simple unboxing. I mean, I asked my this thing is like unboxing. See the number of likes. This dislikes is because I'll tell you why. This was right after the Forsaken video. And what I did was I made her act like a robot. And so when you are in India, so when the Forsaken thing happened, so exactly if you see the date now, it was 26th October. Okay. So if you see the date of this video, this was 19th October. So that time what happened, the world started hating Indian CSGO world. So they got banned Indian, and when I did that, they were like commenting, you know that PewDiePie thing also has Bobs and Maggie and all that. So but if you see my recent videos, they're
Hello, today Axon gets another copyright strike.
Even if you see this video,
I got him.
I always understood the thing. There's controversy, there's drama. See, I knew that.
So like I'm saying, you know, like gaming stuff. Like even if you're gonna build anything on the PC, you want to and you can really make money or get more attention. Because you'll get attention, but you're not the right person to be on the right time. Then there will be like.
See, I made a simple debate like this. I went live. I didn't even show anything. I was just playing the game. I'm only playing the game.
पिस्टल साउंड सुना ना P250 उसका बाई नहीं है अभी आराम से
See, I can be like, if I have Z390, I mean, I won't be, I'm not a bad guy who would try to see, oh, you don't have Z390. But my thing is like such that, dude, I have a Z390, what do you have? They know I don't mean it, they know I'm just kidding. But they find it funny.
So like, see man, like even if you wanted, by somehow you want to justify the thing of getting a Z390, from my point of view, see, you don't require anything more than a 360 or a 370.
Okay.
Because unless you're not into that stuff, there is no point in spending the stuff. Okay, but since you can utilize it, do it some game, garner more audience for it, somehow it is, I think you are justifying it in a right manner. So go for the basic version of 390. Don't go for the ROG. ROG is again like gonna be more expensive.
So basically it's like 390E.
390 good one will be, a good 390 will be costing you at least 20k. Asus type. So that's not a thing. I mean, I'm not gonna say no to that thing. Of course, few Ks here and there are always meant to be.
Okay, this is the basic thing, right?
No, we'll get it even better or
okay, this is Hero.
This is Strix area.
This is okay. This is Hero.
This is ours.
Okay. I mean, for me, it was like $240. I thought it was fine to buy when I'm going with such GPU and CPU. I thought such CPU and such motherboard would
support 390. Okay, if you want to go for 390, it's okay. I mean, we can adjust here and there. Downcut.
What's the big difference? Like, is that all that you show?
That is the major difference. And the shield.
Okay. Maximus. Which is a newer version? Which came out late.
Both of them came out
same time.
But for the different price segments.
Okay. So how do we conclude the total setup?
See man, as far as one thing I'm clear, the way I feel it, if I was you, I would have built a i9 okay? Because I still say 120 is far better than 110 by any means. So even if you're going to lose that one, it's going to you're going to be better state of mind.
Because I think I checked also CSGO ka.
CSGO and all these things are good at these things. Score is not the benchmark for us, right?
Yeah, it's not.
It's not a benchmark for us. And fucking 7-year-old
Yeah.
kid. We go for like overall build rather than going only very single threaded spec build. But in your case, it's your work. I don't want you to like. Doesn't matter if you use a threadripper, you align it. At the end of the day, you want to show your content into the best glory. That's what really matters to you. You use any shit stuff, unbranded stuff. But if you are getting super duper performance, why would not you use that stuff?
Yeah.
Makes sense to use that stuff. From the business point of view, I am totally with you.
I just wait, I think stream something.
The reason why I was thinking was I didn't knew the quality of your content. If you would have been the quality
just
content
stream like this.
If your quality content would have been different, then I would have given you a threadripper and would have even forced you to go for the threadripper because that would have been the logical choice to go for it.
So since my game was lagging, I used this thumbnail as well. And then
I've seen it, how you are using it. That's creative shit, man.
and this I meant this guy's video. So this was like, see,
कुदरत का करिश्मा तो देखो। उस रात 2 घंटे हुई, काउंटर स्ट्राइक भी रिलीज हुआ और हैक्स भी पैदा हो गया। अरे 1 मिनट ले ले तू लेते विनिंग या कहते ना हर गेम में एक होता है। तुझे देख के मुझे ऐसा ही लगा। कौन पेरो नहीं हैकर।
I have this build. I think this should be very nice. And should be popular. Don't go with a template. They are still not convinced to go different immediately. After I consume 70 to 60,000 bucks. I think you go for an i7 9700K or an i9 9900K. It's up to you. Other stuff which I want you to go for is Z390 motherboard. I would have recommended you a 370, but 390 3-4K is not gonna make you poor. And you're gonna be satisfied.
I wanna know this thing. Like if I'm gonna stick to 1080p streaming for the next 4 or 5 years,
3 years में
I have to change.
all the technology I have been there now. Gaming का ले लो, video editing का भी ले लो.
Every 3 years it will change, right?
So new will come.
Because now Google Stadia is coming. You've seen that. So everything might change.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Hyderabad will take your market share a lot. What we have to do. That Stadia, like that really goes ahead. So this is what. But anyways, I still am not convinced on your 2080 Ti curve. This is far and further because whatever the comparisons you have shown to me, that has all has to do with the technologies of first gen and second gen. You were showing me the stuff which is 1080 Ti. There was no direct comparison between 2070, 2080 and 2080 Ti. Even if there is there, no,
Okay.
don't open it. Even if it is there on the terms of ray tracing है, ये है, it is not showing on the streaming. Streaming का तो on 1080p, dead shot will be 3 will be exactly the same. Dead shot. Because as far as I've seen their 4 other experts, the only difference between is the Turing cores and less number of shaders.
Yeah, I'll tell you
They're
one
not
more
gonna
reason
change this thing.
I was thinking 2080 Ti is if in 2021 or 2020 or 2022.
Next year you will have a new GPU.
By then.
RTX is a very average product. Keep that in mind. If you're going to spend 60 to 70K just to justify that, I don't think that is wise. That too on 10K.
So I'm also thinking if I take 2080 now, and after 2 or 3 years, right? I mean after 2 years.
See man, like I've got 2 suggestions for you. Either you go i9 in 2070.
Even the one that's going to come.
3080 is a bit. To be honest, it's a flop. This is not giving anything to the gamers.
Only justifying the 4K and stuff.
Not even 4K. Even the RTX implementation is not good. And the many people who have done the direct ray tracing, direct race, it is very much the product output. It is always about how good. See, why do you buy a GPU? You look things good. And if I'm getting the same similar kind of stuff, 90%, I'm getting for net 10%. You cannot charge me 50% of the amount. What's my point? If I'm having some $100 and I'm getting somewhere around like 90% of 150 rupees, of course I'm gonna spend $100 and get 90%. So this RTX is not one of the major game changers by any means. The next matter of fact, this RTX is so poorly implemented. The developers are not even doing it. They say either we do not know how to use it, or either this hardware is not good for us. Either ways, one of us is not doing it right. So this RTX, this generation RTX is not the anything thing. Next generation of RTX is what people are looking. Many people have skipped it. Many people have skipped it totally.
But if we remove RTX, best GPU would be
1080 Ti. That's why they were taking a comparison.
But compared to 1080 Ti, 2080 would be a better choice. Because there is not much price difference.
Not in India, Bahar mein it's there. Chill. I got it. You don't have to do everything video. And don't see the Amazon stuff, dude. We're not getting stuff from Amazon.
Okay.
Keep that in mind. It's
See,
not possible.
2080 is lesser than 1080 Ti.
It's all. I can put a link. I can make it super cheap. It's people like me only. They're selling it. Relax, and they'll put any price what they want.
No, because see here they're all showing more than 1000, like 1200, 1100.
See, the point there itself is it's out of stock. So there are some applications and everything which require 1080 and 1080 Ti. For them, there is no brainer. They have to buy that one only. So the price of an outdated technology is always higher if you want them in today's days. Suppose if I want a DDR1 RAM, a 4GB DDR1 RAM will cost me 7,000 bucks. Okay. That is no brainer when you get DDR4 16GB in the same price. But that doesn't justify the price, right? 7,000 I'm getting 4GB DDR1.
Chipset which cannot have video.
Exactly. So that's how it is. And the other thing we can, I'm just telling you, if the budget allows, I'm not very sure how far we can push it. And then going it 2.5 lakhs is what we are.
I mean, ray tracing doesn't make sense on live streaming.
Even the games are conceived. Tell me the game which you can use this.
Just a handful of games.
Not even handful, 2 fingers game.
Shadow of Tomb Raider and
Battlefield 5. And this Metro is not even a problem. Sorry, that is DLSS. Battlefield 5. Ray tracing is Exodus and this thing. Metro and Shadow. So again, it's already a product is what 9 months old. Still there is no product to showcase your graphic card. That means there is a rejection from the community. RTX is not the product to invest.
Yeah, it's not about the RTX or just thinking about 2080 or 2080. But like you said, i9 and
either you go for i9. See, i9 will cost you 50K, but you're gonna buy it from here. Okay. None of the stuff which you're buying it from outside will have in game. Keep that in mind. If you are ready to take risk, go ahead. It is up to you. Okay, that's totally up to you. Though I suggest go for the CPU because the CPU has not even a 1% failure rate.
The i9?
Not the i9, any CPU. I've got a lot of stuff from outside India. I buy, sell, import stuff at huge margins. So I even do myself. Since you are a fan of Dinesh, he knows in and out of my business how to buy. So i9, I'm going to recommend you to go buy from outside if you can source it out in a quick span. Makes sense. Big thumbs up. Save your bucks. Be smart. Be wise. Okay. And graphic card, big low. Huge failure rates. And
his risk of
getting
without warranty.
With warranty and investment is too big. Even if you make 10 lakhs in a month, still that is too big. You lose that money. You'll end of the day cry or like whine about it. Why it's not done right. So that is one thing. So GPU, I suggest either go for this 20 series of this thing, go for anything. Roll your line, buy from anyone. Either go for MSI, Zotac. I'm not gonna tell you to go for Asus, Asus will increase the price by 30,000. If I go to 2080, yeah, 2080 Ti will get the अच्छे one, the best ones. Now you are going for the best one, then you stick to that category itself. So you get the best grade quality component. So Asus is a big name in India. Other than the other brands, that you know, a big thumbs up. And other than that, go for as many as NVMe SSDs and good 4 TB SSDs for your backup. Red wala hai. These are nice. Go for a nice case, level 20 XT, 1000 watt PSU, gold certified one for the future mods and everything. Get a liquid cooler, get good fans, RGB fans. Make your setup.
And I'll also go for 240 Hz.
वो तो है. No other option is there. There is no difference, but for streaming you have set it, and I've seen your content 240p. And even if you don't do some live streaming and everything, 240 at 1080p is anyways a good thing to do. That's
So,
something that you have done. And keyboard, mouse, वगैरह जो लेना ले.
Also did this comparison. 60, 144, 240.
Yeah, I've seen that thing. ना तो जाता है वो भागता है. Real time में doesn't make a difference.
I just put it on my live stream. So I played this clip first.
I've seen this thing.
Yeah.
Someone else is there.
Yeah, it's someone.
That's what you need for a competitive game, but for story kind of games or left side
इनको bullet देना ये
The thing is, that's how it is like. 240 Hz. I'll take the i9 processor. So because it's gonna be a 1 by for me for the next. I'm also thinking if I take 2080.
If the budget permits, yes. If the budget doesn't permit, i7 9700K will fetch you more performance. Then i7 with 2080 will be a big thumbs up rather than i9 27.
So this 1 or 2 years, I need to work really hard. Like I cannot back off in any of these.
No man, that's not gonna affect huge. By any of these terms I'm gonna offend you is not gonna huge. No matter of fact, like I say, budget permits, then yes. If the budget doesn't permit, why you gonna extend it more and
I
make
mean,
it?
I have up to 3, but
3 है. 3 है तो I think we can push.
so 2080 Ti alone takes up to 1 point.
Still want to go for 2080 Ti? Yeah.
I'm just thinking that goes and
No man, that's not a wise investment. I still not convinced by any of your arguments or your debate.
2080 seems better.
You can easily get it for 70K.
Huh.
2070. अच्छे वाला 2070 can get for 70K or 75K the upper end ones also.
This Asus will it come down? Won't come down.
Shit, they'll be expensive for sure. They are in a different segment of grade.
Okay.
That destroyed. This is not a very product where I will be spending 20 to 30K. And you have to buy a table also.
I mean, I have the table already.
And you're gonna buy a gaming chair and all those stuff. You have a gaming chair?
I have like an office chair like, which is really big, but I will
Those gaming
to
chairs.
buy a gaming chair.
और वो सारा डालेंगे good gaming headset, keyboard and everything in video. They will cost you. ऐसा लगेगा यार इन सब के. Keep that in mind. They will be really high on the things. If you buy a, I'm quite sure you will show off your setup and everything. You want to show them into the full clothing. You want compromising from product. A good keyboard, mouse combo setup will cost you 25K.
I was also thinking about GTA 6 coming out. Not this year. It will come out in 2021 or something.
That is later. You cannot make conclusions of these things which is gonna happen later.
Okay, then if that actually comes out, the setup I'm gonna get now, it should be able to run there. And GTA mostly they will look for Rockstar Games usually looks for medium PC which can run.
What do you have said it? Come again?
No, it's GTA 5 when it came out. was running on even a decent normal.
And the game comes anything. Are you from?
Because see, I am saying GTA 6. It's obviously going to be a big game, like GTA 5. GTA 5 even now on Twitch and everywhere, if you say it's a top 5 or top 10.
See, the point here I want to make is even the GTA 6 comes. Like, first of all, what consoles are we using on that period? It's going to make a huge
PlayStation 5 would be coming in 2020.
I'm quite sure this RTX will be able to match that. Because that will be in a very. Because the console is always maxed out.
Will match me if you build 1080p and
still always be very slow. It's not gonna match any of your RTX.
So for that reason I'm thinking, anyway, whatever I'm gonna have to change it after 3 years or 2 years.
That's what, no man. See, this again is a very substandard product. This generation product itself is a very.
It only has like 5% difference. 2080 and 2080. So I think if I take 2080
and 2080 is having a 25% in terms of raw performance, but not on the. That doesn't translate to the real performance. And the other thing is, the best bet is 2070 or 2080. At least you're going to lose less money. In the scenario, you'll lose less money. And it's not going to affect any of your streaming. I'm damn sure. 28, 1080p पे तो चलता अब कुछ भी पे को चलता. All these are all powerful cards. 1070, 1080, 1080 Ti, 2070, 2080, 2080 Ti, 2080 Ti overkill. 2070. That's why still I'm saying 2070 is more than enough. Still, if you want to justify yourself with everything a little bit future proof, maybe you're not in a condition, but buy 2080. That's it. Not more than enough. Doesn't make any kind. 2080 Ti is 1080. If you would have done all this stuff at 4K, no, then there was no other option other than 2080 Ti.
So like see, when you actually said this, I'm getting new ideas. Like maybe after a year, I'm gonna also play stream from PlayStation also. Like
streaming के लिए तो you require a good CPU and a good CPU. Not your GPU is not getting directly into the game. 4K is still very far. 1.5 years. Keep that in mind. Yeah. And you don't have the monitor also to stream for it. A 4K one monitor will cost you 1.5 lakhs at 140 watts. Keep that in mind. Then make a call. The investment itself will be close to 3 lakhs. Only the monitor.
But one more thing is when I play games like Apex Legends and Battlefield 5,
all these are meant for
when you play 1080p, that is it. The amount of FPS we get matters on how we perform. So I'll just show you. Apex.
Played this game, right? Those are all 1440p and 4K.
Yeah. So in these games, like you know, CS:GO minimum requires 200 FPS, but if it's 300 plus, it's very good for you to play. So the frames per second also matter on how good you perform.
Only in CS:GO, not on Apex.
No, even in Apex.
And Dota 2. These are the only two games where the FPS matters. CS:GO and Dota 2. Rest all is fiction.
But I think even PUBG.
Again, PUBG plays same at 70, 80, 90. Man. We have done PUBG पे तो
40 FPS.
What resolutions?
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown. Good, we're inside. Point running.
Using grapple. You're not still getting, you still not have got what I want to say. रुको छोड़ दो उसको अभी बंद कर दो उसको. Okay. ठीक है, the more that will be open, the more you are inclined towards to show this. 144 hertz पे there are two options, either 2K or 1080p. 1080p पे you have got 144 hertz and 240 hertz. 4K में there is no this thing. 1 hertz is equivalent to 1 fps. Your GPU and your output should process that. It's not gonna change a lot any point of time unless it's a CS2 or Dota 2. That too on 1080p only. If you see all your professional models, those are 1080p. These are not 2K resolution. All these guys who are playing with professional gamers, they play on Gyoubu monitors or anywhere monitors. Those are 240 hertz. So if you think that the FPS performance will change on this 2K, no, it's not possible. To gain that kind of a bump itself, there is no product to showcase. You don't have the product. You don't have 240 hertz on 4K. It's not possible. So what you are doing it.
I downed the hostile. Reloading.
The best you can do. That's it.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
How come all of them will show you on 1080p, man? There is no way to show it on 2K. Or 2K but there will be 150 hertz. And there is no way 4K 144 hertz will show you.
So, okay, like you tell me this thing, like if I want to go for i9, okay, 2080 Ti. So which are the best options?
In India, i9, so i9 Intel is the other one. This one is go for MSI or Zota.
I've seen MSI was better than Zota.
Service wise, Zota is better. You get place to place replacement within a week. MSI they make you cry for 1.5 hours. But let's see how we other than that, but that itself is going to cost you how much?
Can you
1.6 lakhs तो इसी में चला जाएगा. 1.6 lakhs that will go on this 2080 Ti and this. Ready? Spend 1.6 lakhs on these two products.
And motherboard will be
20K, 1.8 lakhs. 32 GB of RAM, good ones. The RGB one that will cost you 22K. 2 lakhs चला जाएगा.
or set the benzines.
Not the Windows. We'll go with the Trident GST. Those are heavy duty now. Far better. And this thing is there. Two SSDs will cost you what? 10K, 10K, 22K, 2.2K, 2K. And even add one more SSD, 2.25. Because all this stuff should be maintaining a very fast processing rate in the hard disk as well. A good case and the accessories. 2.5. I don't think it is possible. Then you have got output PSUs there.
We didn't include the monitor.
Monitor include there, it will go to 3 years plus. No, it's not wise. You are just doing it right. Either we have to cut down on the one part. I don't want you to cut down on the storage part because that's not a wise decision for any performance oriented guy. I don't want you to cut down on this thing. Better cut down on the GPU. Seriously 2080K doesn't make sense. 30,000 40,000 बच्चे हैं यार. 75K में you get a hell lot of a good GPU. Even if you want to upgrade, I need to upgrade. I'll buy
27 inch.
This is 27. This is just widescreen.
Okay, let's see 2018 and how much it's going in 2080 and it's come to a conclusion. I'll think about it. And about the RAM, what difference does it make? It's 8 GB, 4 times slower.
8 into 4 will be sufficient.
Some are saying 622 is not a good.
No, I think Intel is like Intel is all 12 channel.
It has to be 3200 mAh.
Intel it doesn't matter a lot. I'll get it 2200 FSD, but in Intel the FSD of the RAM